Hi guys, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on the time you'll be watching this video. Alright, so it's another session with Maverick here. And in today's video, we'll be learning how to design a food flyer. Alright, we learn how to design a food flyer. But then, as I will always say, before you launch your app, before you launch your tool, whatever software you're using, probably a phone software, PC software, always know what exactly it is you want to reproduce, because it must have existed in your mind, and that is when you cannot reproduce it using your tool. All right, but if you have no if you have nothing you want to model, or you have no idea, you have no concept, always learn to go online and research about what you want to do. All right, so I shared with you guys the site Pinterest. You can go on free pick, you can go on Google, search for food flyer designs, and so many wonderful designs would come out, pop up. All right, you can now select or choose the one you want to model and then add your creativity to it. So for the purpose of this video, I won't be going online to search for any flyer, because I already have them on my phone. I've downloaded them, and then I have what exactly I want to replicate, what exactly I want to model. All right, so I can then go straight to my tool, Pixel Lab. All right, so this is my design interface. So the food flyer design, majorly or mostly, you would see that it's in form, it's it's always in it has a vertical shape. Let me put it that way. It has a vertical shape. In other words, the height, it's always longer than the width. Yes, most food flyers, it always come in this format. The height is usually longer than the width. So for that, we are going to change the size of our design interface here, the board we're working with. So this is a square box. We are going to change it. So come over here and change the size. So now I'm going to use 4 by 6. The width should be 4, the height should be 6. Width 4, height 6. Same thing if you want it to be the other way around. You want the width to be longer than the height, you just have to interchange it. 6 by 4. 6 is the width, 4 is the height. So this is the size I want. All right, so what next do? I go and import what exactly I want to model. All right, so you must have gone on Pinterest, gone to Google, and search for what exactly you want to do. Yeah, so this is what we are going to model for the purpose of this class. Right, so I've imported what I want to model. But I'll see how awesome it is. So I don't want this video to be too long. I would have preferred to just be mute and then be doing the stuffs, but for the purpose of explanation, I have to talk as I'm designing, because that other one will be faster while I'm talking than me talking. All right, so this is the image we want to model, and you can see it here. Whatever you see is very, 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 very simple. How they achieved it is very, very simple. So a quick one: you must have gotten all your resources set after going online to search for the food flyer design, and then you see the one you want to model. The next thing that you should do is that you should also go online and search for the resources you need. All right, the pictures you need, the elements you need, you must have gotten them and downloaded them into your phone. So already all my resources, I have them on my phone, so I'll be going straight. So from this, let's take a look at this closely. Now, what do we see here? We would see that we have an image here, we have a shape here, we have a shape here, this white shape, we have another shape here, this red shape. Alternatively, whichever one is correct, that red shape could be a stroke to this white shape. All right, so we have another black shape here, and then we have this. Right, so how do we do that? Very simple. You start by importing a square shape, sorry, a circle. So this is my circle. I increase the size of my circle. But before doing that, I want to change the color of my circle to give me exactly the color I'm having here. Now I'm just modeling this. All right, so you might decide to change the color to suit whatever you want to do, or after you've gotten the flyers you want to model, you can now choose to add your own creativity and model it, add your creativity to your tastes. So you might not do exactly what you see. All right, so just add your own creativity, but get concept, draw inspiration from works that has been done. All right, that's the purpose. So now let me go to my color and change it. I need a red color. But if you want to get this exact color, I've said it times and times again, this plus icon, you click on it over here. Yeah, you click on your pick tool and then select the image you want to. So this is it. I want to select this color, this one. Yeah, so as I tap on it, you see here that the color has changed. Wherever I tap on, wherever I tap on in my design, the color changes. Okay, wait. No. Yes. So wherever I tap on, you can see the color changing. The color changing, the color changing. So I need this red color exactly. So I click on tick tool and then the color comes up. So okay, so this is the color I'll be using. So what I'll do now is that I'm going to extend the size of this shape. Remember, I've always said that it's not going to extend it from the sideway but from the edge. But in this case, we are not going to extend it from the edge. If we extend from the edge, we okay, yeah. So you have to extensively extend it from the edge to get what you want. All right, so previously I extended it from the side to give me something as this. All right, so you can extend it from the edge, extensively extend it to get that. Okay, almost there. So this is fine, this is fine. Let's leave it at this. All right, so we tick it. It's loading. Alright, so this is our shape, this is the first shape, and then we duplicate this shape. Go to your copy. I've duplicated this shape. I'll change the color now to white. So you have to change the color. This is my white. I change to white. Then remember, don't always forget to centralize. Centralize, make it centered. This one also I centralize it. So I adjust this one, I push it upward a bit. Upward a bit, still centralized. Alright, so this is fine. I still duplicate this white shape. Duplicate, and then I change the color to black. Black, here is black. All right, so I centralize again, centralize, and then I move it downwards. I move it downwards, move it downwards, move it downwards. Okay, so I'm good to go with this. So you can see now from here we've used our shape and we've gotten the way this was presented. So it's not something that is hard to do. All right, so the next thing I'll do is now to get the shape beneath. To get the shape beneath. All right, so go to your plus icon, go to your shape, select a shape. Now this is the shape we're going to use. This, yeah. So let me change the color so I can see clearly what I'm doing. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to reduce the size here and then increase, decrease the width, reduce the height. Okay, so I place this here, or better still, I place this here. Yeah, that's fine. So I click on tick, but for now let me just leave that white. We'll come back on to edit the color. So here's white. I duplicate this same shape, go to copy. So that's been duplicated. So this rotate sign here, all I need to do is rotate it to make it face the other way. So I try to make sure it is on the same line. Alright, so I reduce this one a bit, move it downwards a bit. Yes, so I move it to the side. Okay, good. So I still centralize this. So you mark them, you come here, you mark them, and then okay, I'm not moving now. I want to centralize. So here is where you centralize your stuff, your relative position. This is it. So I try to make it centralized, and there it is. So you see, we are already forming a shape. We are already forming it. So the next thing to be done, let's look closely. What else can we see? We can see a circle here where it was written this month 25% discount. So let's get another shape, which is going to be a circle. Change the shape to circle. This is what we've got. So we're going to change the color to get a black color, right? So here it is. So what next do we do? Let me go to the front. What I'm modeling. What next do we do? We position this one in such a way that it goes into the white, but it's in front of the black. So let me centralize this. And how do you do that? Over here, your layers. Now these are the elements you've used. Now if you click on the elements, it will select which exactly. So this one is this my red circle over here. This one is this my white circle, while this is this my black circle. So now I want this black circle to go behind this white circle, but should be in front of this red circle. What do I need to do? Over here you can see these lines by the side. Yes, so you tap this circle, now the line here, you tap it down, and then once the opacity reduces, you will now drag it down to where exactly you want it to be. So if I want it behind the red, I drag it here and leave it. Okay, this is for this. Drag it down, the second one, so you can see it has gone behind the white circle but in front of the red circle. So if you still want it behind the red circle, you still drag it down and then it goes behind. But for the purpose of this, we're going to leave it behind the white circle in front of the red circle. So here's what we've got. All right, so we are making speedy progress. So what's next? As it is, we've imported majorly all our shapes. Yes, so let's now go straight to our texts. Yes, let's go straight to our text. So what was written here is your restaurant, your slogan here. Your restaurant, your slogan here. So just give your restaurant any name. So just here, where's your restaurant, put any name. So what I'm going to put here is I'm going to write them Pinnacle Foods and Grills. Pinnacle Foods. Yeah, Pinnacle Foods. Then, okay, I don't want it capitalized. Pinnacle Foods. Alright. So what's, now for food flyers, you must have discovered that most food flyers, they love using a cursive or decorative font. Yes, they love using a cursive or decorative font. So for this our Pinnacle Food, the font we are gonna use should be a cursive one. It should be a cursive one. So let's look for, or a script font. All right, it's the same thing. So let's look for a cursive font. Alex Brush. All right, let me go to my font. Okay, I have Aston scripts here. Magenta Rose. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think let's stick with this Magenta Rose. It looks cool. Yeah, it looks cool. So we're gonna make use of this, and then we're gonna change the color to white. So the color now is gonna be white. Pinnacle Foods. We're gonna increase the size of this. Increase the size, and then we're gonna make it bold. What's your style? Make it bold, exactly. And then what else should we add to this? Okay, now take a close look at this. I want to show you guys something. Now you would observe that over here this P and over here this D, it's as if the text was shortened or the edge was cut out. All right, so you might be experiencing this majorly when you're using decorative scripts fonts. All right, so what do? You go and adjust it in your padding. Go to your text, click on padding. So you increase the left. Now you can see as you increase from 0 to 1, the full text now came out. As you increase this from 0 also, the full text now came out. Let's increase the top. Okay, that's just it. So you can see as you increase it, anyone that is cut out will begin to appear. Anyone that is cut out will begin to appear. So that's the function of your padding. Whenever you observe that your texts are being cut out, go and adjust it in your padding. All right, so here it's now in full. It's now in full. All right, so let me see something. Let me try to change everything to, okay, no. Okay, let me change my texts, my fonts. Let me change my font. I need something more cursive, more decorative, more appealing. No. Okay, let's use this. Oh my god, oh, beautiful. I love this. So let me centralize it. Let me remove the bold to see. Okay, yeah, awesome. So I love this. So Pinnacle Food, I import another text, and grills. Yes. So let me use the font I used earlier, recent, and grills. Okay, yeah, this. Okay, so let me still change the color to white, exactly. Right, so I leave this here, centralize it. Let me move it sideways a bit. All right, so I'm going to leave this like this. I would come back to edit this. Now you can see that this hand, the edge was cut out. So adjust it from your padding. Adjust it from your padding. All right. So I'll come back to work on this. So let's move on to other things. Let's move on to other things. Let me reduce this size. It's looking too big. Reduce this size. Okay. So this is fine. So we'll come back to work on this. Now, what next do we need to do? Okay, here for this circle. So let's add just add something. Get or promo price. Promo price. Promo. All right. So I'm going to use also a white color. Now you would observe the principle of repetition that I'm using, repeating the same elements, repeating color. I'm not repeating text, but I'll do that later on. Repeating shapes, repeating color and stuff like that. It's a principle you need to always follow when designing. Maintain the principle of repetition. Maintain the principle of repetition. Now I'm going to use a corporate font for this, not a decorative or script font. So I'll go with them. Roboto, yes, Roboto regular. This is what I'm going to use. So this is Roboto regular. I increase the size of this 40. Let's make it 50. Yes. So and then I make it bold. Style, bold in it. All right. So I place it at the center. Centralize this, and then I move it upwards. Okay. Let me move it downwards a bit. Okay. Let me reduce the size to 45. Try to achieve something. Okay, so let me increase the spacing by 5. 5 is fine. All right, so I'm going to leave it at this, take it upwards a bit, and then okay, I'll copy this text. I'm still repeating the same text, so I'll copy it and I'll edit it. 30% off. Get 30% off. All right. But for this, I'm going to remove the bold. I don't want it to be bold, so that the hierarchy will be maintained. And then I'm going to reduce the size to maintain the hierarchy. They shouldn't be the same size. I'm going to remove the spacing. Yes, still reduce the size to maintain the hierarchy. Let the hierarchy be clear. Yes. Then I'm going to centralize this. Good. So I'll bring it downwards a bit. Downwards. All right. So I can make this italic now. Remember, it's still the same font, all right? I can choose to make this italic. Good. And then let me change the color. Okay, let me not change the color now till I've imported our shapes and all of that things. So we can choose a color from our image, rather, my image. So let me reduce this, bring it down. Okay. Yeah. So it's fine this way. So you can see it's gradually coming to shape. It's gradually taking form. So what next do we need to do? You can see something like a logo that was put here, but because this is not an official project I'm working on, it's just for the sake of to teach you creatives. All right, so you're just going to manipulate any logo you can, or if you have any logo on your phone, you can just use it for the sake of this video and then place it here. So let me increase this to show us something. Bring it to front. Now you can see here, it's not really visible, but you can see the logo represents what the flyer is talking about. All right, so it's a restaurant, definitely. So the logo has to portray that this is what is being referred to. You can see something like a chef hat and then fork and knife by the side. All right, so because we don't have a logo already, we're just going to manipulate anything to get one. So I'm going to import an image I have on my phone. I'm going to make use of an image I have on my phone. All right, so let me search for the image. Okay, so let me make use of this. Sorry. All right, so to make use of this, we are just going to choose one of these stuffs. So I want to make use of this exact one. Where is it? This exact one. So I just need to trim, or better, so let's make use of this. Yes, this. So just trim. All right, and then tick. So I have this. Then I'm going to remove the color. The white here is still visible. All right, so you can see the white is still visible because when we import our image, the white definitely is going to reflect. So let's remove the color to make it transparent. Go to color picker and then yes, select the white, click. So now you can see, okay, let's bring it here. This is what we've got. No, white, white, white. Exactly. So increase the tolerance, let me leave that 20. Exactly. All right. So here's what I've got. So I'm gonna reduce this a bit and place this by this side here. All right. So what else am I going to do? Still, I'm going to import another shape, another image. So let me go to my gallery. Let me look for it. All right. So here it is. I'm going to manipulate this to get exactly what we want. So let's make use of this. Yes, this. Remember, this is not a logo, but just because we don't have a logo yet, all right, so we're just trying to see what we can do. All right, so let's make use of this. Exactly. So I'll try to be as fast as possible, and I trust will follow through. Now, so let's remove also the color, the white background here, so it does not. All right, so let's increase the tolerance a bit. Okay, no, let's leave that 10. Let me see, smooth edge. Right, let's leave smooth edge at 2. Yeah, this is fine. So reduce this. Let's reduce this to fit into. All right, it's going to fit into that shape. Position it properly. Yeah, the shape is kind of looking too big. Let's reduce it a bit. Okay, this is fine. So let's bring it downwards, up, sideways, up, sideways. Good. Now let's select our shape, our logo, presumed logo. Let's increase the size a bit. It's looking too small. Increase the size. All right. So position it upwards. Bring it downwards a bit. Let's see what we've got. Okay, that's nice. Move it upwards still a bit. Try to reduce the size just once. All right, so move it sideways. Yeah. All right, so I'm okay with that. So let's import a shape and try to create a soft line. All right, that would fit into this. Let's reduce it still. It will fit in. It's a little big. Reduce it still. Will fit in. Yeah, it will fit in perfectly now. Look at this size a bit. Yes, so let's reduce it. We just need a line. All right. So you can see the. Okay, let's make it black because of our background is white. We'll not be able to see it very well. Or any color. So you can see it's the line is looking too big. This is not exactly what I want. Yeah. Let me see the size. Right, let me reduce the height. That's even the final shot of the height. This can't be reduced anymore. Okay, let's reduce it. Still looking too big. I don't want something thin. It's still too big. Something thin. Oh, it's too thin. Alright, so that's what we want. Just take your time. Okay, so this is fine. So let's reduce the size now. Go to relative size. Disable it and reduce the width. Let's see what we've got. Okay, that's fine. Let's position it the center. Move it. Okay. Let's move it once more. As a creative, as a graphic designer, you need to be detailed, especially when it comes to details given to you by your customer. All right, you need to be precise. Make sure your shapes, your elements are well aligned. You know, there should not be the one to correct that. Okay, this is not properly placed. This is not this is not that. All right, you should have the eye to always spot things when they are not done. All right, so you can see this is exactly what I want. I want it to be centralized to that shape. So let's increase the rock a bit. That's our logo. It's looking too small. No, 9 to do. Okay, so let's position this to the center. Yeah, it's fine. So let's bring our shape a bit. Exactly. So we're going to duplicate this line, copy, and then send to this side. So we'll bring it downwards, sideways. reduce this sideways, upwards, upwards, sideways, up. Okay, so you can see it's not well positioned, so move it sideways still. Let's see, it went too far. Let's also move it twice. Okay, move it once to the left, move it once to the left. Yeah, awesome. So let's mark them and move them downwards a bit. Okay, so much. Yes, yes. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. So we are gradually making progress. We're making progress. Definitely, we're making progress. Right. So what next? What next? What next? What next? Then let's now start with image. Image. Now we can see this. Okay. Yeah. This stuff here. So we're going to use we're gonna use a square shape. Yes. So let me change the color so I can see properly. Alright, so this edits, I'm still editing. So we are going to make the edges curved. So we're going to increase the radius, and then let's reduce the image here, the shape rather. Alright. Sorry. Edit. I don't want to touch those sides. Reduce it, increase the bits, increase it a bit, increase it a bit. Yes. So this is what I want. I'm going to increase the radius to make it curved. Increase the shape a bit, a little bit. Yes, so this is fine. So I'm going to change it back to white. I'll change it back to white. So what else? I'm going to add a stroke to it. No, not stroke. So let's mark this. So fine, this is what we have. So let's now go to our shadow. We're going to add a shadow to it. Now the shadow is too dark, but I don't want it to be as dark as this. So we are going to reduce the opacity of our shadow. That is this third one. So no, the second one rather. We don't want it to be this dark. We want it to be somehow light. So I think this color is fine. All right. Yeah. So this is what we need. So let's now cast the shadow by the side. All right. So offset, set your offset to -3. Set your offset y to +3, right? Offset x -3, offset y +3, and that is to see that the shadow is being casted to the left and downwards. So we take this. So this is what we have here. So what you need to do now to rotate this shape. So let's exactly rotate it. Okay, this is fine. So move it upwards a bit. Sideways. Okay, let's move it downwards gently. Now let's rotate it. Yes, we're getting it. Okay, yeah. So it's good the way it is now. So we've gotten this shape. Let's duplicate this shape now. We're going to duplicate it. Just tap on it and copy. We've copied it. So let's rotate it. Now at the left, we rotated it, sorry for that, at an angle of at a degree of -15. So we just change it to the opposite direction. That is now going to be +15. So move it, let it be +15. Yes, so you can see it's the same thing. So now we just position this properly. Move it sideways. So move this upwards, sideways, upward. Alright, so what else are we going to do? Our shadow, we are going to cast our shadow now to the opposite direction. So what we did for offset x, we are going to just make the opposite. Instead of -3, it's now going to be +3. So you can see our shadow has come to the other way. So fine, we are having this. So what next do we have to do? We are going to still copy the shape. So we've copied it. Now let's make it straight. That's 0. We rotate to 0. Now our shape is now straight. And then our shadow, let's remove the offset x, we don't need any offsets, so the offset for x is just going to be downwards. So 3, increase it to 5. This is fine. This is fine for it. All right, so let's increase the size of this one. We increase the size and bring it downwards a bit. Bring it downwards a bit. Yes, so the main concept I want to get is that the one in the center is going to overlap the two at the side. So let's centralize this. All right, so you can see it's gradually taking to form. All right, so what next are we going to do? Let's make this our black circle. Let's give it a shadow. All right, so let's reduce the opacity to 5. Let's increase the offsets y. Alright, so let's give it the same color, but then let's reduce the offsets y. Now let's increase the blur. Okay, to 10. 10 is fine. Alright, so we do the same thing. Okay. Let's when we import our image, we'll not do for others, but this you can see now is taking its form. It's taking its form. So what we need to do now is that this plane. Okay, let's finish this up. Now here, this our image. Under the slogan here, you would see something like a write-up. So what I did was I just used a quotes. I'm not ready to rack my head for any write-up now. Alright, so I just looked for something that relates to a food quote. Not motivation. Let me see positivity. I mean, I saw one before. Okay, that should be an inspiration. There was one I saw here. Oh, let me see. Was it here? Let me see. Positivity, inspiration. Let me see positivity again. There was a food quote I saw here, something relating to food though, not like a food quote. Okay, yes, this is it. So food has always brought me comfort and the engine of blah 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 blah. I select this, I increase it by the side. All right, so I don't want it to be I want that to have 2 lines. So I reduce the size of this, leave it at 20, then I centralize this relative position, I bring it downwards, and then I change the color. Let's leave it at white, but to still maintain my principle of repetition, I'm going to use the same font I used here for this promo. So I'm going to my font to change it now, and I'm going to change it to Roboto font over here. So Roboto regular is over here. So you can see I'm maintaining my principle of repetition. Alright, so I still centralize this. Alright, let me see, reduce the size. It's looking too big. 15 is fine. Increase it a bit. Okay, yeah. As far as can be seen, does not necessarily have to look to be big. The side does not have to be big. Alright, so small is cute. When it's small, it's cute. As far as can be seen. Alright, so just make sure that the contrast is set properly, and that's fine. Alright, so basically what we are left is just to import our images. Now you can see here that for this black circle, it was a plain black, but then I'm not going to leave mine as a plain black. I'm going to for this, I would duplicate the shape, copy, and then I would remove the shadow from this shape. So shadow has been removed. I'm going to centralize this relative position and bring it downward. Let me change the color so I'll be sure that it's placed very well. So let's move this downwards, move this downwards. Okay, so move this upward a bit, upward. Fine. Now you can see they've been placed on top of each other. So the color, I'm going to turn off the color, and then what am I going to do? I'm going to add the texture. I'm going to use the texture. I'm going to add the texture to that. So let me look for the texture I want to use. It's going to be relating to. So let me use alright, I'll use this as a texture. So take it. I'm gonna reduce this. Yes, increase it a bit. Alright, so I'm going to leave it like this, but then I'm going to send it to the back of the text. So here, as I said earlier, move it downwards till it gets to the back of those texts. Okay, so here it is. Here it is. All right. So I won't leave it to be as transparent as it is because it will not contrast with my text. So I'm going to reduce the opacity of it. I'm going to reduce the opacity of it. 10 is fine. Now, as it is, it's looking like it's not visible, but then let me increase the brightness of my screen. So can you see it? Yes, it's been seen. So let me still increase the opacity to make it more appealing. All right, so 15 is just fine. 15 is just fine. All right, so I'm gonna leave it that way. So let's, okay, I saw something. Let's bring down this shape to cover, our texture, it was segmented. So now let's move this downwards to cover that black line. Yes, it should not be seen. You should know how to manipulate your design to get awesome stuffs. All right. So yes, who's calling? Oh, sorry, I have to pick this call.